The opinions expressed in the following paid program do not necessarily represent those of WJFK, CBS Radio, its employees, or sponsors.
This is Patrick Mullins, and you're listening to TerpTalk with Bruce Posner.
This is Minor Consulting TerpTalk, 60 minutes of Maryland Terrapins news and commentary, and your phone calls at 866-950-5225. Now from the CBS Radio studios in Baltimore, here are the hosts of TerpTalk, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
About last night, midway through the first period, first half, I'm watching the game with my wife, and you know what I burst into? A goal! What a goal that was by Patrick Mullins, only to be matched by his second goal. This guy, there's been some great players at the University of Maryland. 4 of them are on the U.S. World Cup team. But I don't know if there's ever been a more clutch player on this team than Patrick Mullins.
My most favorite Patrick Mullins moment was when he beat Carolina last year in overtime, and all you heard on the TV call was, "Mullins, it's over!"
Mullins, it's over. I have to tell you, the funniest thing was last night when they're doing the pregame setup of the soccer match. By the way, 3:00 tomorrow in Philly, I'll be there. Stop by and say hello if you go. Wouldn't miss a shot for the championship. When they're setting up and they're talking to the other coach and they're discussing what the story is to prepare for the other team, and Maryland had to prepare for the transition of Virginia's great attackman. And Maryland, thank heavens for Zach Steffen, again, who was miraculous down the wire. They faced that problem yesterday. But the other coach said, Mullins. When the game's over, here's the worst sour grapes I've ever heard from another coach, the guy from Virginia. Here's what the player said. He's probably the best player in the country. We played them 3 times, and he single-handedly beat us each time, except for the game we tied. The things he does on and off the ball, you just don't see that every day. He's got a great left foot, great strength. He's a total player. That was Todd Wharton, the great player from UVA.
And that's the guy who had Virginia's only goal. If I had to give out 4 stars for last night, I'd give the 4th star to the goalpost when Steffen got mid-hopped and the ball got by him and hit the post. The number 3 star, I'd probably give.
Well, you're pleased to welcome.
You want to give it to Endo, or do we want to give it to Stefan?
I think Endo with that pass. That pass was a Premier League pass.
Well, I'll give Zach Steffen for the one-handed save that saved the day. And
well, 2 of them. The last one, but the one 2 minutes before that. Yeah. Well, how did he stop it? I mean, how did he even see it? You know, and the thing is, the coach after the game said that we got beat by 2 players and we thoroughly outplayed the rest of the team, which I thought was like...
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. You don't win a game with 2 players. I thought Maryland's kind of swarming defense in the first half was excellent.
Yep.
All right, but then in the second half, as soon as that game went to 2-0, the entire thing changed. It was like...
Well, Virginia opened up and...
Yeah, but it was like, what happened? Why did Maryland stop their attack? And... whatever. But as soon as that happened, the entire game changed. And so anyway, Maryland's now 17-3-5. They advanced to their 6th national title game against Notre Dame. And what does Notre Dame give us on Sunday, Wayne? I'm going to tell you. Go ahead.
Well, they give us a sort of ACC team, but not really, and a tough defensive team to go against.
Brutal defensive team. It's very tough to score against. They keep those 4 men in the back. And they just stay there no matter what. So it's hard to get the breakaways. It's hard to penetrate. But this seems to be, for some reason, the announcers yesterday and the general word I've heard is Maryland, let's see, they were lucky to beat UC Irvine. They were lucky to beat Cal. And last night they were outplayed and lucky to beat Virginia. You heard it. The guys said it.
The guys said it.
They said it afterwards.
And Virginia had chances. That transition stuff worked. They had guys on the run. They hit them in stride, and they didn't score. But you know, the number one predictor of who's going to win the game is the score at the end. And if you check again, we still won on the scoreboard, and that's all that matters.
We played University of Maryland soccer. You heard the crew up there was in full force. I wonder why they didn't let him sit behind the goal.
Yeah, nobody got to sit behind the goal. And the other thing I noticed...
Why was that?
I don't know. I guess they just didn't want to clean back there is what I was thinking. They just had that area to sit, which was across from the TV camera, and that was only half full.
Yeah, look.
It was really cold last night. I noticed that Maryland, down the stretch, as it probably got down closer to 28 degrees there, started to slip on that natural grass turf. And that almost led to some untimely shots for Virginia.
That one with about 40 seconds left, our guy slipped and the guy got through. And who knows? You know, Zach Steffen is a cool character, a very cool character.
Right.
And he really kept his composure down the wire. I thought he was just miraculous in those last 4 minutes.
Well, other than the two Mullins goals, the other play that I'd call almost miraculous is when the Virginia attacker walked the goal line from the right corner almost all the way into the goal, got around three Maryland guys, put it between the legs of the last defensive back, and almost had a point-blank pass, but decided to shoot, and there was no place to shoot it. You remember that play?
Yes, I do. Let me ask you a question. I've watched the play about 7 times now. Mullins' first goal, did he kick that with his left foot?
I don't know.
I looked at it, and it was so quick I could not tell. But Patrick Mullins, regardless, 2 goals, always the humble guy.
And he's got 18, leads the nation.
Right. But more than that, he's just money. He's clutch. And look, Notre Dame, they're probably going to have 6 guys on him tomorrow. So it's going to be pretty tough for him to be like the scorer or whatever.
Well, if he draws 6 guys, you know, Sonny Jane didn't get a lot of time last night. Shilo Shuma was out. You got Pace who can score. There's other guys. So if he draws 4 defenders.
Well, you'll see Endo have a big game, I think. Or you'll see, what's his name? Mikey Sowers have a big game. Sash used that bench yesterday. He used it. He really did. He went deep, bringing in Mikey Sowers, taking him out. And, look, Virginia, the third time we played them, I'm kind of glad the game in Virginia was a tie. Or was it? Yeah, it was in Virginia. Yeah. Because if we had beaten them twice, you get that old beating the team twice syndrome.
Right.
Okay?
You can't beat them for a third time. But so what I'm looking for tomorrow is a chance. What I'm looking for tomorrow is a chance to actually revel in being a Terp. And the last ACC game, because, it's over for Maryland, the ACC. It's the last game tomorrow, and I'm hoping beyond hope that we can get a couple goals and that this will not be one of those times like it has been in lacrosse recently to get all the way to the finals, even if miracle or not. And this has not been the best Maryland team. I thought last year's team was destined to win the championship, and this year with the slow start, you were wondering what was going on, and boy, Sasho can put a team together like nobody else. And at least Sasho got a lot of run on the ESPN telecast.
Sasho always does. One of the main reasons, one of the great soccer names ever, Sasho. Everybody knows who he is. Any casual soccer fan knows who Sash is. And the team, 17-3-5, and with such a slow start, then to go to Cal and win there was miraculous. They're on a run. Nothing's going to stop them. He's bringing home the trophy. I feel that with all my heart. And this ACC thing, this is not you can't call this an ACC game with Notre Dame. They're barely in the ACC.
No, but it's a good way to say goodbye to the ACC to walk out as national champions.
Well, we've said that about 9 times now, about the good way to beat Virginia, which all of a sudden last night became our greatest rival in the history of the sport, or it's the greatest rivalry in the history of the sport. I'm not so sure about that.
I don't know about that.
That's what they said at the beginning of the game, that Maryland and Virginia hate each other, and this is never have these two rivals. All of a sudden, Virginia's our rival.
Well, I wasn't talking that it's just Virginia. It's the whole thing that we get out, and they'll say, last season. It's still a big deal to me, and it's getting to be a bigger deal as we get closer to the last game or closer to having to go into Comcast Center, which is going to happen, later this year, and somebody's going to take out the paint thinner and wipe ACC off the court.
I'd like to do that. I wonder if they should have a raffle for that. All right.
Well, you'd be a guy who says it's time to go.
I'm going to tell you right now, Kevin Anderson, if you're listening, I should participate in painting that off or wiping it off.
I'm going to ask if we come out and at least cover that.
Yeah, I want to cover it.
Yeah.
And I want to cheer, and
I'll cry. You could cheer.
Yeah, I'm going to cheer and whatever. All right. Great day. I can't wait for tomorrow. I don't know what else to say. National championship game in Philadelphia. Don't waste your time watching the dysfunctional skins, the thin skins, or whatever you want to call them now. The biggest joke in the NFL. Get out. Go to Philadelphia. It's a 2-hour ride. It's supposed to be 39 degrees and sunny tomorrow. And you'll have the time of your life. The place will be, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be packed with Terp fans, but it'll be a good, 2,000, maybe 2,500 Terp fans there.
I would think so.
Yeah, and the weather's going to probably hold it back a little bit, but I'll be there, all right, and I can't wait. And Wayne, I know you're sick about not being able to go. You got to go. You're on a business trip tomorrow, but it's the way it goes. Let's go down from celebration, great feelings, to a little disappointment yesterday when the University of Maryland football team went 0 for 2 with two guys that they have busted their behinds trying to get. And that, of course, is Brock Rubel from DeMatha, who chose, I don't know why he chose FSU, but he chose FSU. All right. Might have something to do with being number one in the nation.
Yeah.
And, of course, the kid, Marcus Applefield, going to Rutgers. That one I really don't get.
Well, we'll go over Rubel.
You can make a case for choosing Florida State in their position right now, right or wrong.
Oh, sure. That's a guy. DeMatha and Maryland have not been the best of friends in recruiting recently. I don't know what tipped this off, and I think it should have been over by now. But Maryland just hasn't recruited well at DeMatha. Brock Rubel's an offensive lineman. He's going to play left tackle. He's a really big guy. Throughout the summer, it was noted that Maryland was trailing. But at that time, we thought we were trailing to NC State. He had an affiliation there. We really thought that was the main rival to get Brock Rubel. Then suddenly Florida State jumps in the picture, and they weren't really foreseen in the recruiting circles, and they went from trailing to being number one. And by the time he made the decision yesterday, it was already thought he's going to Florida State. So he gets on the phone and calls down there and commits. And then, we got Marcus Applefield, who's somebody we were out of the running for. He had chosen Rutgers, and then Rutgers fires half the staff, and suddenly Maryland's back in it. And he sticks with Rutgers. So,
it's a tough break, 0 for 2. It's still, they're still waiting for the two big ones, and that, of course, is Jalen Tabor, Damian Prince. I'm starting to hear that Mr. Saban, who committed to Alabama yesterday, $7.5 million. $7.5 million. I guess that's what you get when you go, you got 3 losses in 3 years, 2 national championships.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So I guess he deserves that money, but $7.5 million, that's NFL money.
Well, they'd certainly
By the
bring
way,
the money.
I did hear a rumor that the Redskins, when they eventually figure out how to get rid of Mike Shanahan, Cutcliffe is in the hunt, or in the running, per se.
Somebody wrote that up. I think it was on Terrapin Times. I'm sort of out of the pick your best college coach and send him to the Redskins.
But this guy is a guy who worked with Peyton Manning, and I think that you're not going to hire him as a quarterback coach, but when you have RG3, I think that this guy could turn RG3 into the guy. But anyway, I don't know how Cutcliffe did not win Coach of the Year. They gave it to Malzone, who's the luckiest guy on the face of the earth. Not that Auburn's not great. I'm not going to knock him, but when you have, first of all, a tipped ball, all right, to beat Georgia, an absolute fluke, and then an absolutely bonehead play by Nick Saban to hand the game to him at the end of the
Iron Bowl there.
Iron Bowl, yeah. I mean, and that's the basis of it. I don't get it, but
that tip pass and that missed field goal puts Auburn in the national championship.
Where they'll get their hands handed to them. Everybody's picking Auburn all of a sudden, though they're 8.5 point underdog. But I think Florida State is certainly the team to beat.
Speaking of Florida State, is the Heisman tonight? And, of course, Winston's the...
Heisman is tonight. I don't know. You're talking that Manziel, they think Manziel might make... And you could make a case for Manziel, but not much of a case. Jameson Winston was just perfect this year, minus his 10 interceptions, but 38 touchdowns, I think, touchdown passes, 4 runs, and that's without playing most of the fourth quarters. That's really 3/4 of the season.
Except the one game against us. He managed to stay.
Did he play the fourth quarter?
Yeah, he played the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's a piece of footage we need to bring up in our Wrap Up the Year show, as you talking about them leaving Winston in.
I assure you.
All 4 quarters until the last play because they didn't want the negative yardage when he went to kneel down.
I assure you, all right, that Florida State, they come here, I think, somewhere time in February.
Oh, in basketball, yes. Yeah.
And I think that we're going to spend a few shows firing up the fans for that game. All right, because the best cheer I ever heard, and Florida State's probably a pretty good team, but we might have trouble with them here. But if you get them down to say, I think the Duke fans one year Duke was beating Florida State by like 35, and the fans started to chant, "This ain't football." All right, but. Look, give them credit. This team, and I think the most underestimated thing about Florida State is how good their defense is. All right? Their defense is excellent. They hit you from every way, left to right, but super D, super team. Let's see what happens. All right, this is Bruce Posner. I want to put a shout out here to Kevin Yant. Got some nice emails from him. So do some photography work for us, Wayne. This is a guy, big fan of the show, so I just wanted to say hello to him and thank him for his support. All right, this is Bruce Posner. You're listening to Viner Consulting, Terp Talk, and Wayne, tell us about Viner Consulting and that guy.
That guy.
You are that guy. I'll let you do it today.
Well, there's a lot of people who spend a lot of time working on their own small to mid-sized business, and they're always looking for a guy to help them out, either their website or their e-commerce, their accounting system, even their computer network, or maybe marketing or sales projections. They just need a guy. Viner Consulting has been that guy for over 20 years for a lot of small businesses in the D.C., Baltimore, Montgomery County area, and we'd like to be that guy for you. So if you're looking for some help for your business, please give us a call. You can reach us at 301-251-2900 or easily on the internet at it's vinerconsulting.com.
MakeYourCompanyWork.com. And let me say this, Wayne Viner is my guy for making the Terp Talk website go and making my business better. This is Bruce Posner. You're listening to Viner Consulting. Terp Talk here on 1580 CBS Sports. We'll be back in a few moments. We are pleased to welcome Kelly & Associates Insurance Group to the Terp Talk family. For more than 35 years, Kelly & Associates Insurance Group has been known as the region's premier group insurance administrator, broker, and consultant specializing in healthcare. Kelly is also able to provide your organization with an integrated payroll solution through KTBS Payroll. The leader in benefits is now the leader in payroll too. To learn more about how Kelly and KTBS Payroll can provide your organization with a total benefits solution, contact them today at 800-972-7227. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. Listen listen up. If you want crabs, you have to head to the Costas Inn on North Point Boulevard. There is no comparison in all of Maryland for the greatest crabs and crab cakes ever. Costas also serves unbelievable steamed shrimp, Greek salads, and steaks for lunch and dinner. Nick, Pete, and Costas Triantopoulos run the perfect restaurant to go with family and friends. Give Costas Inn a call at 410-477-1975 and tell them the Terp Talk guy sent you. Terp Talk is proud to welcome Glen Burnie Transmissions as a new sponsor. Located at 7166 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. For over 50 years, Glen Burnie Transmissions offers free towing from the D.C. area. Transmissions for all imports and domestics. Go to www.gbt-online.com for a quotation or call President Mark Schwartzman at 800-458-2661. That's 800-458-2661, Glen Burnie Transmissions.
Hi, I'm Johnny Holiday. I've seen a lot of great teams over the years, but not as good as the legal team at the Jacklish Law Group. Every single lawyer at the Jacklish Law Group is ranked in the top 1% of personal injury lawyers in the entire country, and we're honored yet again by Super Lawyers magazine. So if you've been injured in a truck, car, or train crash, get that great team working for you. Call the Jacklish Law Group 301-627-8700. Can't spell Jacklish? Try www.smallfirmbigdogs.com.
Viner Consulting helps you get the most out of your business technology. We develop a technology plan for your business. There is much more than the run-of-the-mill break and fix service you are probably used to getting from your local IT tech. This is a real plan to move you forward, to bring in the latest technology at the best prices, strong support services, and a vision to lay out where you want your company to be down the road. And best of all, the plan is free to your company. Let us come and help you build your future today. Viner Consulting is a proud Microsoft partner, a Lenovo partner, and an HP partner. Conveniently based in Rockville, we service the Baltimore, Washington area. You can reach us at 240-599-0140 or on the web at www.vinerconsulting.com. Atman's Delicatessen has finally expanded into the Potomac area. Created originally in Baltimore in 1915, it's been a long time, but the best deli in the nation has come to the Washington area. Everyone is ecstatic that now you can find Atman's Deli at Tuckerman Lane in the Cabin John Shopping Center. Mark Atman, a tremendous Terp fan, brings his tremendous talents to the Washington area when it comes to delicatessen. Open from 8 to 8 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Atman's features its corned beef and pastrami, but certainly has all the great deli food available. Call 301-765-3354 for catering or to order ahead. That's Atman's Deli, 301-765-3354 in the Cabin John Shopping Center.
Attention business owners. Circumstances force the best of businesses to ask callers to wait. KO Productions on-hold messages turn those wasted seconds into customer awareness, service, consideration, and your own profitability. Not even Alexander Graham Bell could do as much for your telephone as we can. Get complete details at koponhold.com, koponhold.com, or call Freddie from Boca at 800-229-9969, 800-229-9969.
Access Title Company, LLC, brings to you experience, relationship, and peace of mind. All great reasons to choose Access Title Company as your residential and commercial real estate settlement company. Choosing a reputable, experienced title company is crucial to a smooth settlement process. Our staff of attorneys and experienced personnel is committed to helping you through the complete process with personal attention, competitive rates, and prompt service. Access Title Company goes anywhere in the state of Maryland to perform your settlement at no additional cost to you. That's why we're Access Title. Please call Melanie, our operations manager, at 410-363-8785 for additional information. That's Access Title Company at 410-363-8785.
This is John Graham, and you're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Join the conversation at 866-950-5225. Once again, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
It's funny, everybody. By the way, Wayne wanted me to remind you, and I should. if you're not going to go to the game or you're watching the Redskin game and you want to follow it on Twitter, it is on ESPNU tomorrow at TerpTalk. I'll be there tweeting. Is that the word? I'll be tweeting there.
You'll be tweeting.
All right. And, I'll just give you my opinions of what's going on, taking some pictures and everything. It's a lot of fun, and people enjoy it when I do it, those who follow it. Anyway, where were we? We were talking about, let's get to the Mervis Minute now, and we can talk about, I think it's time to defend Dan Snyder, and I think that Shanahan is just, I don't even know what the right word is. What he's done, he's almost embarrassed football. And if I were the teams competing with Dallas, Philadelphia, and all the other squads in there, I would be infuriated that a healthy, and I don't care if he's 90% healthy, but a healthy RG3, your best chance of winning is not playing against the Cowboys next week. I think it's an insult to the game of football, and I don't even know how to describe it. And this is not Snyder. He's holding Snyder. He's doing this to try and get $7 million out of Snyder, and that ain't right. All right, look, try to win. If Snyder wants to fire you, then so be it. You'll get your $7 million. But to insult the game like he's doing, I think it's a disgrace. And with that, we'll give you the Mervis Minute.
And that's brought to you by Mervis Diamonds. It is the best place if your wife or your girlfriend likes to Corey, or you need an engagement ring, or the diamond studs, the earrings are gorgeous there. You can reach Mervis at 703-448-9000. It's Mervis Diamonds in D.C., in Rockville, and in Tyson's Corner. Of course, D.C.'s been a buzz with this Redskin debacle. This Shanahan came in and he asked for a lot of things, and he's gotten most of them. And my point's been that I think there's 3 guys that are left from before Shanahan got there. So you're looking at a football team where I think there's 56 guys dressed on a Sunday. Now, 53 of them are guys that Snyder brought in as the general manager. The worst job he's done is as the general manager. So when he says...
Shanahan brought in, that's Snyder.
Right, Shanahan brought in as the general manager. The worst part is he's still a bad GM. When you say the special teams are bad, it's on Shanahan. When you say there isn't enough people to block for RG, that's on Shanahan. So a lot of this is a Shanahan-created mess, and I agree with Bruce. He's now looking for a scapegoat, and there's no easier scapegoat in the NFL than Jerry Jones or Danny Snyder.
Well, look, when you look at the Redskins, you would rate their special teams as maybe the worst I've ever seen in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
I've never seen special teams that poor. And the defense, how can it be any more porous when it matters? And then you go to the offense, they've mishandled RG3. So if you were going to keep Shanahan, which I don't think is going to happen, you have to clean house of all the assistant coaches, I would think.
Well, that's $13 million price tag. And right now, Snyder seems to be balking, according to the Washington Post, at writing out $13 million in checks for somebody who's not going to work there, and then have to go spend another $10 to $13 million for the next group.
All right, then keep half of them. I'm sure the lower line personnel are not at fault. It's the guys, the coordinators, and his son, and it's not working.
Oh, no.
It's when John Harbaugh and Cam Cameron, who were best friends, when Cam Cameron was, failed against the Redskins, all right, their last high moment, I think, when he failed against the Redskins to throw the ball, when he beat D'Angelo Hall 3 times in the first half and never threw the ball against him in the second half, to John Harbaugh let his best friend go.
Well, I don't think Shanny is letting his son go. I think that's part of the dysfunction. They're all at fault. You have the RG3, who still preens around a bit for a guy who's benched. You have Snyder as the biggest ego in the NFL, except maybe Jerry Jones. And you have Shanahan, who needs to be the smartest guy you ever met. Between the 3 of them, it's just a poisonous relationship. You can't have 3 super egos.
We're getting carried away here with Redskins, so let's move on. Danny Ainge in the house. We should invite Danny Ainge to every ACC game there is, because somehow or another, now nobody said this, I would have asked the question, Des Wells is playing like a guy in the NBA the other night. He was incredible. Why it took him so long to drive the hole on every play, I don't understand. But when he started, he was unstoppable. And I think the new rules of the game this year are going to work in Dez's favor. And I think we're going to see Dez going to the bucket a whole lot more. He was stupendous.
Maryland beats BC 88-80 in front of about 2,500 people.
It was announced at 3,500. There probably was about 1,200 there, if I had to guess. I've been there before.
You have. What's it look like in person?
It's a great little stadium, and I emphasize the word little. So maybe it holds 7 or 8 grand, I'm guessing. Mason, why don't you check that? What's the capacity of Silvio Ocante Forum is the name of it. 3 words. When they panned on the foul shots, the entire student section was empty.
Well, I think that's because they didn't want to clean back there. It's the same answer as the soccer game.
But there was no students there. There was one guy yelling, all right? You could hear clearly because there was nobody there.
Well, you can get one guy yelling in Boston on any street corner. You don't need to go to the game for that. But what do you think about Jonathan Graham coming in and playing defense? He gets that big tip in down the stretch, and he showed as much energy to me as he did in those scrimmages when we looked at each other and said, this guy's got to play. There's got to be
You
minutes
and me
for
have
this
been
guy.
screaming this since the beginning of the year. When you look at the sometimes lethargic play of Shaq Clear and sometimes of Mitchell, the Mitchell's an energizer guy. He really is. Not the other night, but basically he is. But obviously, Jonathan took minutes away from them, but we won the game. I mean, isn't that what it's about?
I think the line total was about 12-12 and like 7 fouls, like 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 fouls from
between
the
the 3 of them, which is fine. Which is
good.
Decent production. And Jonathan had 21 minutes, only 1 shot. It was the biggest shot of the game, but he had 1 tip in, and whatever.
And the answer to the Conti Center is 8606 for basketball and about 7,500 for hockey.
Okay, now have you ever been to the Miami Arena?
Yes.
For a Maryland game?
Yep.
It's the same atmosphere. It's like nobody's there.
Yeah.
It's like their students aren't there. In Miami, you might get 100 students. Boston College, you get nobody. I don't know why. And it's a very unique arena, because it's connected to the football stadium. And some of the football skyboxes have 2 windows. One faces the football field, the other faces the basketball court. And that is fascinating. And it's a great arena. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's not a bad seat, except nobody goes. I mean, that's the joke of it. And the other night, nobody was there. Varun Ram. Mm-hmm. He got in the game for about 40 seconds, and Turgeon had been all over him for committing stupid fouls. He committed a stupid foul, gone.
I think he might have had a chance to commit 2 stupid fouls. Yeah.
2 fouls was against GW, I think.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
That's right.
And here was the key to the game, to the victory the other night. We held down Eddie Odio. Right?
Eddie Odio had a career against us.
8 points, 11 rebounds last year to take us down. But we stopped Eddie Odio.
Well, the true guy that had to be stopped was Olivier Hanlon, who still, the name reminds me of Olivia de Havilland, who was an actress who was born in like 1905.
Right.
But he obviously ESPN thought he was the star because they had that little breakdown segment with him and the Williams who went to Duke. They show at halftime of how he gets to the basket and how he sets up the opponent.
He was pretty good. He didn't make his shots, but he still had 26 points. He got fouled. He got fouled a lot. And,
right. But I just didn't feel that he dominated the game. I was worried about who was really going to get the cover on him. And the other note is down the stretch, they did have Dez bringing the ball up a bit and going back to the point, dumping it off, getting the ball back and going to the basket. And that worked.
At one point, with 6 minutes to go, we're down by 4. Turgeon calls a timeout, and I can imagine what was going through his mind. And what does he do when he comes out of the timeout? He does what I've been shouting about. He goes into the press. They steal 2 balls, turn the game around, kind of turn the game in Maryland's favor from that point, and then he took the press off. Now, I agree with him. You can't run the press the entire game. But we didn't even get into the GW game from the other day where the press brought us back. And I just think that this needs to be a chaotic, helter-skelter kind of offense. And that's why the press is working for Maryland. But with that, I'm going to take the final word because we got to get out to our second break. This is Bruce Posner along with Wayne Viner. You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. We'll be back in a few minutes here on CBS Sports Radio 1580. We are pleased to welcome Kelly and Associates Insurance Group to the Terp Talk family. For more than 35 years, Kelly and Associates Insurance Group has been known as the region's premier group insurance administrator, broker, and consultant specializing in healthcare. Kelly is also able to provide your organization with an integrated payroll solution through KTBS Payroll. The leader in benefits is now the leader in payroll too. To learn more about how Kelly and KTBS Payroll can provide your organization with a total benefits solution, contact them today at 800-972-7227. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. Terp Talk is proud to welcome Glen Burnie Transmissions as a new sponsor. Located at 7166 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. For over 50 years, Glen Burnie Transmissions offers free towing from the D.C. area. Transmissions for all imports and domestics. Go to www.gbt-online.com for a quotation or call President Mark Schwartzman at 800-458-2661. That's 800-458-2661, Glen Burnie Transmissions. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been helping coaches and athletes on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels to fulfill their God-given potential. FCA is the largest Christian sports organization in America and focuses on serving local communities by equipping, empowering, and encouraging people to make a difference. To learn more about the FCA in your area, call Mark Stevens at 301-363-8611 or visit their website, metromdfca.org.
Have you been injured in a car accident by medical error while on the job or because of the fault of another? Are your medical payments and paperwork piling up, or are you out of work and losing wages that you can't afford to lose all because someone else was negligent? If so, get the representation and individual attention you deserve from the law firm of Grant Posner, 443-388-4777, or go to BeMoreLaw.com for your free consultation.
I'm Grant Posner. I began this firm with the belief that all clients should get the individual attention that they deserve. When you call my office, you deserve to speak directly to an attorney. Call today at 443-388-4777 or visit BeMoreLaw.com and schedule your free consultation with an attorney today. Get the individual attention and experience you deserve for all of your injury, traffic, or criminal legal needs. And don't forget, for personal injury cases, there are no legal fees or expenses unless we win. Call today, 443-388-4777 or BeMoreLaw.com.
Access Title Company, LLC, brings to you experience, relationship, and peace of mind. All great reasons to choose Access Title Company as your residential and commercial real estate settlement company. Choosing a reputable, experienced title company is crucial to a smooth settlement process. Our staff of attorneys and experienced personnel is committed to helping you through the complete process with personal attention, competitive rates, and prompt service. Access Title Company goes anywhere in the state of Maryland to perform your settlement at no additional cost to you. That's why we're Access Title. Please call Melanie, our operations manager, at 410-363-8785 for additional information. That's Access Title Company at 410-363-8785.
This is CJ Brown. You're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Join the conversation at 866-950-5225. Once again, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
Wayne, I know you want to mention, you have something, a comment about Nick Faust, and I'll get to it in a minute. But when you look at our relationship over the past couple of years, most important, you and me have became friends, which is number one. Number two, you've gotten involved in radio, and now you've gone all the way to the top, sponsoring the show. But the most important thing you've got out of our relationship, I believe, what do you think it is? Well, the third most important is what?
The third most important is I have a much better view of what my company does.
Okay,
well, that's really helped me there.
That's good. Well, let's go to number four. Number four is that I do believe that I introduced you to the non-revenue sports and how much joy you've gotten out of it, especially soccer.
Yes.
All right. You had no interest whatsoever. I won't say none. I mean, you rooted for Maryland, but you could not have told me who Patrick Mullins was 3 years ago.
Oh, no. And now I'm looking at these games and thinking about the kids who played last year who aren't there, like Sturzer, and it's a much deeper appreciation for what goes on at Maryland.
And the funny thing is you also forget that you and your son each have crew scarves, and that's the key thing. All right.
Well, it helps when it's cold out. Mason loves his scarf. He wears it everywhere.
Mason's born to be a member of the crew. He'll be the guy leading the charge, switching goals when he gets to Maryland.
Wearing the banana suit, which is a high honor at Maryland.
Okay. All right. You made a great point about Nick Faust in the press while we were at break. Go ahead. Espouse it.
Well, when you look at the break, it puts Faust out in space, covering people, and he gets tip-aways. He gets his hands on the ball. He's a much more active defensive player, and it's quite evident in the press. And then when he picks the ball up, he kicks out to Wells, who's attacking at an angle instead of just bringing the ball up. It's a full attack mode. Once you get the ball back on the press, once that defense works, Faust and Wells become the players, that high-flying people that are impossible to cover. And I think it really helps the energy of that team.
Without question. All right, Florida Atlantic today, 2 o'clock, barring horrendous weather, which has been beating me up lately as far as going to games. I'll be out there at 2 o'clock, and I'm sure Wayne will too. All right, last segment of the show, of course. It's time to get to what's maybe the most important thing going on at Maryland. Not today or tomorrow, that's soccer, that's for sure. But after that, and that is the fact that Maryland received an invitation and accepted an invitation to the Military Bowl. Congratulations to Randy Edsall and his entire staff on the 7-5 season. And to me, this was the bowl that I wanted to go to because it's the easiest one to go to, the least expensive, and I think it's the best bowl of the choices where we could have gone when you consider Detroit, Shreveport. Some people wanted to go to the Pinstripe Bowl, but this is in our backyard. I hear ticket sales are brisk, and we're facing a team that, this is no walkover. Maryland's underdog against the Marshall Thundering Herd. And give us a little preview of the game, Wayne.
Well, Marshall, everybody knows Marshall now. They used to be regarded as a small school, but I think ESPN and having a lot of college football on has helped. So you've probably seen Marshall before, out of southern West Virginia.
That's the other school in West Virginia.
The other school. And they featured Doc Holliday, who was on the sidelines helping out at West Virginia for a long time. That's a great name for a head coach. They could have won CUSA.
Is he in relation to the Doc Holliday?
No, I don't know. He graduated from West Virginia.
The one who used to be on
79.
Gunsmoke? Is that?
Yeah, I doubt that. But so Marshall had a championship game run. They played Rice. Rice wins that game. They get the automatic bid, and we get the Thundering Herd. They feature a quarterback named Rakeem Cato, who has his own page in the press guide. He's the number 3 all-time in passes attempted. He's the number 3 all-time there in passes completed.
I bet he could become a Redskin.
He could become a Redskin if something happens to Grossman or
has his own page in the press guide. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, explosive team, 43 points a game they average. And here's the great thing about this game. We're not going to see a nip and tuck, 10-7 game. We're going to see an absolute barn burner. Is that the word? 48-47. Right. Everything's going to happen. Maryland's offense is coming on. CJ's coming on. And I think it's going to be a super game. And get your tickets now and get them from the Maryland website. Go ahead, Wayne.
You probably should, but it is a legit 9-3 team. They had won 5 games in a row up until playing Rice. And the last time they played Rice last year was a 54-51 game. So Bruce is right. This is an exciting team. They're 26th in defense in the nation, and they score a bunch of points.
I'd like to know who the coach of Rice is. This Rice, how did Rice become a football power? This is another, let's call it an ACAD school. I mean, it's very tough to get into, top of the country, and yet they're doing so well in football.
They haven't won anything since 1954 or so.
You always got to look at that coach. When you see a coach take a program that is like kind of non-existent and turn it into a winner, like Rob Ambrose, what he's done at Towson is just miraculous. Towson won last night, 49-39. Did you watch any of it?
No, after the soccer game, I had enough sports for the day.
Well, Jermaine West for Towson, the running back, all right, 365 yards. Think about that number. 365 yards. Oh, by the way, he also had 5 touchdowns. So, and could have had another one. What are you showing me, the coach?
The coach at Rice. Rice, I think their big football moment the last 50 or 60 years was they hosted Super Bowl VI, I believe, at Rice Football Stadium. That's the last time.
David Bailiff. Looks like a tough guy. But anyway, a great day for University of Maryland. But then it was kind of like, I was kind of like upset again when I read that the ACC is withholding our funds for that game.
Yeah, we sort of knew that, or in the back burner, we knew that if we got an ACC bowl, all they were going to pay was the travel costs.
You know what, Wayne? I'm demanding to be part of the guy to wipe that paint off on the basketball floor.
Maybe we can get you a pair of scissors.
You got to be you got to be my mouthpiece on this one, all right?
Okay.
Or maybe I'll call Jacklich up, all right? In fact, I am going to call Jacklich up.
With Jacklich, you can help cut the ACC out of the turf at the football field.
Okay.
There's a lot of places the ACC name has to go away.
I want to personally put the varnish or whatever it takes to take it off. I want to be there to take it off of the court at the University of Maryland. Or if you got to replace the wood, well, that's out of my domain.
Maybe we could start up a fund to we'll make a donation to get you to actually go out there. I should open
my mouth so much. They'll say, all right, Bruce, you could do it for $5,000.
Right. But I've lost my. That's why some people were really bullish about the Pinstripe Bowl or Little Caesar or Dallas Bowl, is because that would be a relationship between Maryland and the bowl instead of the ACC and the bowl. So the money could have come into Maryland, but we fairly knew that if we had gotten an ACC bowl, we'd get none of the bowl money. So this lawsuit, Maryland hasn't been paid by the ACC since Maryland announced that they were leaving. So we're talking a lot of money that hasn't come in.
Well, then that's part of the $50 million per se.
Well, that's the counterbalance. Once they get to $52 million, I guess Maryland gets the next dollar. They're going to hold $52 million.
Well, they're not going to get $52 million.
Well, then we're going to get nothing. I mean, that's how this is going to work out.
Unless by some miracle Mark makes a tremendous run, the Turgeon makes a run to the through the NCAA. Yeah. Hey, we're 1-0. I mean, that's the way you got to look at it. 1-0 in the ACC and onwards and upwards. Next game's at home on January 4th against Georgia Tech, next ACC game. But the basketball team's got a couple tricky games in there. And you got that North Carolina Central on New Year's Eve.
Right.
At 2:30.
Right.
2:30 on a Friday afternoon.
I think it's a Wednesday.
A Wednesday. I don't understand.
It's 2:30 on Tuesday, the 31st.
But whenever it is, why do you play at 2:30?
Because people don't want to be out on New Year's Eve, and they figure a lot of people have the day off.
Yeah, but a lot of people work.
I don't know.
I don't
question the scheduling.
I can question the scheduling at 2:30. If that's the case, play it on Monday night at 7:00.
Yep.
I mean, I don't understand. Are you trying not to have people there? Is that the goal? I don't get it.
You can have it live for Burbank, California. We have 500 people here to watch Maryland play on.
Yeah, I mean, why do you set a time where you're immediately eliminating the workforce? It's not the World Series. It's not a baseball playoff.
No, but that thinking in the long term, that's the game you have at Cole. If you're going to play at 2:30 on a Tuesday, that's the game that you throw into Cole Fieldhouse next year.
I don't get it. Well, the students are off. I mean, how many people are going to be there? But anyway, that's a tough game. I don't think Tulsa's that tough of a game on Sunday night. I think the 29th.
Right.
Or whatever the day is.
We've got that one because Danny Manning's friends with Turgeon, and Danny Manning's sort of new over at Tulsa as the head coach.
And Boston University, is that next Saturday?
Yep, next Saturday at 2 o'clock.
By the way, are they through finals yet, or are they in finals now? Or you don't know?
I don't remember anymore. It's been a long time.
A basketball team in finals, it's really strange to be playing all these games because they haven't really had a break. Maybe this is the week they have finals because there's like a break.
Yeah, they should be. School should be over by the 20th. You should be out of finals.
So anyway, we'll have a lot more about the football game. Had Steve Beck on the show last week.
Who is Steve Beck?
He's the director of the Military Bowl. Thank you, Wayne. And some news around the world in basketball as far as Maryland goes. I was very, very disappointed to see Gravis traded to Toronto. Very disappointed.
Well, you mentioned last week, or one of the times I talked to you, that the backup point guard in Sacramento was really lights out.
He was. Isaiah Thomas, I think he went to Illinois. And he actually, he didn't force Gravis out. What happened is they traded for Rudy Gay. That was the key guy. And they wanted Gravis. They wanted Gravis as their backup point guard. He's their backup point guard now in Toronto. I just want to make sure, I want to see that he gets his contract. And that's what concerns me, that this is his year. Next year, he gets that, 3-year, $6 million contract. That's all Gravis needs. Mm-hmm. And hopefully he'll get it. But he had a great first game last night for Toronto. I think he was 5 for 7 from the field. And it's just a shame because he had a shot. He was a starting point guard for Sacramento.
Mason brought up he's rocking the number 21 jersey again. So it's nice to see him back. Got his number back.
Yeah.
He's in our time zone now. You don't have to stay up till 3 a.m. to watch him anymore.
That doesn't mean much. Anyway, we never talked about the BB&T Classic. It's a great game. Great game. Maryland waited too long to press, or maybe they, that's my opinion.
It was a great ending. The game was a bit disappointing.
Wayne, when you look back at the season so far, and the fact that we're 6-4 with those 4 out-of-conference losses, you look back at the first game, the last 2 possessions, and I honestly believe had Des made one of those 2 shots, all right, I'm not going to say we'd be sitting here. It would be a different situation. Just that one 10-second moment that we failed to score, I do believe that would have catapulted us maybe through Oregon State. Right. It wouldn't have helped us against Ohio State. Nothing would have helped us.
No, probably not. But we're talking about the last 2 possessions up at Barclays Center. We had UConn on the ropes. The comeback was completed. We had 2 shots to win the game, and Des couldn't get either one.
Right. The shot selection was poor, and it wasn't because Turgeon called that. Turgeon wanted him to drive. And I think with these new rules, you put your head down and go to the basket.
If anybody touches you, they blow the whistle. And how many times that happened for Des against BC? Must have been the last 5 times he drove to the basket.
I don't know how you draw a charge anymore. I'm not sure what the barometer is to draw a charge, but whatever. But the key thing is, call Boston today. I think they played last night. They're off. Get a first-class ticket for Danny Ainge on JetBlue. Fly him down, sit him next to the bench, and let Dez, be motivated.
Okay, and if you are listening and you happen to look like Danny Ainge, just let us know. We'll get you on the court,
Exactly
and we'll get Dez
right.
up to 30 points.
Maybe Danny Ainge earned his paycheck this week.
Right.
Listen, that's going to wrap us up. Next tomorrow, NCAA championship game in Philadelphia. Yeah, I am psyched. I am ready. If you go to Philly, stop by and say hello. I'll be there wearing 9 layers of clothes because there is no indoor media booth. So this is Bruce Posner for Wayne Viner signing off here on Viner Consulting Terp Talk. We'll see you next Saturday. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been helping coaches and athletes on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels to fulfill their God-given potential. FCA is the largest Christian sports organization in America and focuses on serving local communities by equipping, empowering, and encouraging people to make a difference. To learn more about the FCA in your area, call Mark Stevens at 301-363-8611 or visit their website, metromdfca.org. Are you looking for great seats? You want to see the Terps play Duke or Carolina? Want Oriole Yankee tickets, NASCAR, Van Halen, you name it. GreatSeats.com has them. Nothing beats having great seats, and you can find them by calling 800-853-SEAT or check out Great Seats ticket inventory at www.greatseats.com. Call 800-853-SEAT. Tell them the Terp Talk guy sent you. Nestled near College Park is one of Terp Talk's favorite spots, the Old Line Fine Wine, Spirits, and Bistro. I've had several lunches and dinners at the Old Line Bistro, and the atmosphere is fantastic. And the food is off the charts. What a great spot to go before or after a Terp game. Then there's the greatest selection of fine wines and beers, all at reasonable prices. At 11011 Baltimore Avenue on Route 1, check out the Old Line Bistro and say hello to my friend Larry Pendleton. Call 301-937-6999 for reservations or just stop in. That's the Old Line Bistro, 301-937-6999. Viner Consulting helps you get the most out of your business technology. We develop a technology plan for your business. There is much more than the run-of-the-mill break and fix service you are probably used to getting from your local IT tech. This is a real plan to move you forward, to bring in the latest technology at the best prices, strong support services, and a vision to lay out where you want your company to be down the road. And best of all, the plan is free to your company. Let us come and help you build your future today. Viner Consulting is a proud Microsoft partner, a Lenovo partner, and an HP partner. Conveniently based in Rockville, we service the Baltimore, Washington area. You can reach us at 240-599-0140 or on the web at www.vinerconsulting.com.
Have you been injured in a car accident, by medical error, while on the job, or because of the fault of another? Are your medical payments and paperwork piling up, or are you out of work and losing wages that you can't afford to lose, all because someone else was negligent? If so, get the representation and individual attention you deserve from the law firm of Grant Posner, 443-388-4777, or go to BeMoreLaw.com for your free consultation.
I'm Grant Posner. I began this firm with the belief that all clients should get the individual attention that they deserve. When you call my office, you deserve to speak directly to an attorney. Call today at 443-388-4777 or visit bemorelaw.com and schedule your free consultation with an attorney today. Get the individual attention and experience you deserve for all of your injury, traffic, or criminal legal needs. And don't forget, for personal injury cases, there are no legal fees or expenses unless we win. Call today, 443-388-4777 or bemorelaw.com.
The opinions expressed in the preceding paid program do not necessarily represent those of WJFK, CBS Radio, its employees, or sponsors.